Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Miller with the Herald Times coming to you from Day 3 at the Maui Invitational, here with my pal Andy Witchery from the Indiana Daily Student. Third time's a charm, Andy. We're back here again.
We're back here. Same result, though, pretty much.
Yeah, we've kind of had this conversation over the last couple days. Indiana ends what is basically, I don't want to overstate this. There's a lot of basketball to be played this season, but I'm still not sure Indiana saw a single NCAA tournament team out here in Maui, losing to UNLV 72-69 on this final day here on the island. A lot of problems, a lot of deserved hand-wringing over this performance over these last 3 days. A lot of issues. Today was both free throws and, to kind of go with the narrative of the week, more turnovers. A tournament high for Indiana, or what they have, 21 turnovers. I think they had over 50 for the week, averaged 17 turnovers a game. Now, I think if they don't lead the nation in turnovers, they're right there at the bottom of all 350-some Division I teams. I mean, this is a team that just has not held onto the ball very well at all. They've missed some shots. Shot selection has been poor at times. It's been a collection of things you can really point to with this team. Not only these 3 games, but if you want to kind of go back to some of those first 2 right out of the gate with Austin Peay and Eastern Illinois. Big picture, though, again, this week here in Maui is it could potentially come back to hurt Indiana. Now you look ahead, they're a week away from going to Duke, facing the defending national champions there at Cameron Indoor in a primetime game. That's Indiana's next best non-conference opportunity to really bolster the resume heading into Big Ten play. After that, it's Notre Dame. And with only 2 opportunities to really steal a win or get a win to really solidify this non-conference streak, it's very likely that for the next 4 months, Indiana's going to be looking back on this week in Maui and really regretting the performance and the opportunity that slipped away.
Yeah, no, it was set up. The bracket was set up for them to play potentially number 19 Vandy, and then in the finals, number 5 Kansas. And even if you lose those games, you still have the strength of schedule, the experience of playing a top-tier team. Instead, you mentioned they lose to the number 11 preseason team, the ACC, number 4 preseason team, the Mountain West, which is certainly not going to cut it. You mentioned that 2 big games left, both are away from Assembly Hall. They could easily drop both of those. But you mentioned it, consistent issues, turnovers and free throws. This is still the 3rd-ranked offensive efficient team in KenPom. So they can put up points, but they can't reach that full level just because they turn the ball over or can't get to the line, or like today, missed 9 free throws of the 19 they took.
Yeah, speaking with Tom Crean after the game, he was saying that a lot of the turnovers are products of trying to make the home run play, trying to do too much, and we've seen that. I think one of Indiana's biggest problems, and this was a thing last year too, but I think it's certainly highlighted this year when you look at, the roster construction and really the expectations, especially for this offense. I think Indiana is almost over-aggressive, too aggressive. I think that's true both on offense, through trying to make those plays. I think that you can pretty much pick apart Troy Williams at play and fault him for a lot of those issues. Other guys are to blame too. I think over-aggression is a big deal. I think you even see it on defense too. For all the problems there, I think there are at times guys who just aren't maybe in that position to make the play in front of them, and they kind of try to overdo it to a degree. I think over-aggression is an issue at this point. Speaking just to the offensive end of that, I was wondering, maybe does Indiana slow it down at some point? Do they maybe try to readjust the way they see things offensively rather than try to do too much? Do they take maybe a different approach, maybe a slower approach? Tom Crean doesn't see that as an option really at this point. He doesn't see that so much as the problem. But there are a lot of problems right now, and to completely diagnose it, we would need a lot more than the 10 minutes we usually take for Scoop Talk. Really, after this one, Indiana's going back home. I guess they leave tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. Tom Crean just wants to practice. Tom Crean just wants to get back out there. We spoke yesterday about Indiana's long night Monday after that Wake Forest game, just identifying some of these shortcomings they saw against Wake Forest. They go barely beat St. John's, and they come out with a really problematic effort. Just really unacceptable for the number 13 supposed team in the nation to come out 8 turnovers in 8 minutes to start the game. They had 10. They had added 2 more to that total within the next minute or 2. And really from the very beginning, it was just a flat, uninspired, honestly. I mean, the way they play after these 2 games and they come out playing like that, it's basically what it is. Very, very disappointing effort is, I think, is the key word here for this Indiana team right now, just very uninspired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and comparing them to UNLV, who once again, same situation where you lose the first game, win the second, so same kind of result, same trajectory. They came out with an intensity really on defense, especially. We saw those guys flew up and down the court. They seemed cohesive together, and I didn't have that same level of togetherness or whatever word you want to put on it. But like the Wake Forest game, UNLV was the aggressor. They set the tone, got up I think 15 points early, and IU fought back, but those early turnovers in the first 10 minutes or so really dug them a huge hole that they never really got out of. They tied the game with, I think, about 16 minutes left at 46. Yep. IU fans got on their feet. There was some, Hoosiers chants, going on. I thought maybe that's when, momentum was up for grabs, and, Tom Crean said that, you have to hold on to that, and IU just simply didn't. 9-2 run for UNLV, and then after that, their late game execution once again was questionable. Had a shot in the air, to tie the game, got tips, and that's pretty much the ball game.
Yeah, Nick Zeisloff took that three-pointer with, I think it was like 3.8 seconds left. It was blocked, as you mentioned, and he was asked after the game if he would have done anything different there, if that was the look he wanted. I mean, yeah, that was the look he wanted. Tom Crean even interrupted his response to say that was exactly what we wanted. We got the shot we wanted. It was just blocked. I mean, really, it wasn't Indiana's approach in the final seconds. That was the problem, as much as it was throughout the other really 30-plus minutes of the game. Free throws. This was and probably, as Tom Crean said, a bit of an aberration for this team. Shot only 10 of 19 at the line. That includes a 2 for 5 mark from Yogi Ferrell. Just an uncharacteristic performance from him at the line. Generally, though, we've seen this team. I think they were an 85, or Yogi was an 85% free throw shooter coming into this. Generally speaking, this team has been okay at the line. I still think they need to get more from James Blackman at the line. Blackman was back in the starting lineup today, had 13 points, didn't have a single trip to the free throw line. He's got to get there more often. Zeisloft led Indiana with 17 points. He was 2 for 2 at the line. They want to see Zeisloft at the line a little more often too, but free throws were an issue today. Defense was once again an issue. UNLV just came, and they did a really, I think, they focus on attacking Indiana off the dribble, coming in and just kind of penetrating and getting looks close to the basket. Although they got up 15, I think, no, they got up 13 or 15. They got up a considerable amount, double digits, about midway late in the first half, and Indiana kind of charged back on a little run that I think was spurred in part by, I think, some poor shot selection by UNLV. They kind of got away from attacking Indiana and attacking some of the soft spots of that defense. But by and large, it was another very troublesome defensive performance from Indiana. Again, I don't see it getting much better. It's still what it is. For some reason, Tom Crean, I guess, tried to. What is the correct word here? He kind of used the. He basically said the front line is not what they thought it would be coming into the season. That essentially alluding to the hope of having Emmett Holt and even Hunter Mascara, possibly Devin Davis in the mix in that front line, but a little disingenuous, I think, for Tom Crean to even bring that up at this point. That was actually a very interesting comment to even make that at this point, to kind of explain or try to add some, I guess, reason to some of the lacking fundamentals, the holes, and just the general problems with this defense. So, I don't know, Andy, where does this team go from here, man? This is a very, again, I don't want to overstate it. I've kind of called it a near disastrous run here in Maui, and really it's at best disappointing. I don't think that's unfair to say. Where this team goes from here, I'm not entirely sure. They go back home, see Alcorn State on Monday to get their legs back, and then they go to Duke. So, really important stretch to finish this very challenging non-conference run.
Yeah, we have to walk a fine line. Because you mentioned this trip, it was in no way a good trip at all.
No.
But once again, this isn't a bad team necessarily, right? We've seen them play at a top 25 caliber level last year and so far this year. It's just a matter of doing so against good competition. It's interesting with Tom Crean's comments. Much of his post-game presser today was about how it's about players' commitment to improving, diagnosing the film, and then kind of implementing those fixes into their game. And it's hard to peg that on just saying, well, how badly does Yogi want to get better, right? It's such a vague concept of, how much will do they have to improve or to watch this film. It's just hard to kind of quantify that, really. We know what they have to improve upon. I think they know and will know after they watch the film again from this week. It's just a matter of, can they actually find a long-term fix, which we'll find out.
A lot of questions for this team, obviously exponentially more than Indiana arrived with a few days ago. Um, it's getting interesting here. This is not at all how anyone saw this unfolding. Obviously, they don't even need to say that. What I will say is I'm just going to walk into the ocean right now. I'm flying home tomorrow. You're flying home tonight.
Tonight, about 5 hours.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm just going to go walk in the ocean, folks. That is the only way I know to move on from this game. Another strange, frankly, just weird performance from this Indiana team that entered the week at number 13 in the poll. Going to see a very steep drop when that next one comes out before that Alcorn State game on Monday. Till then, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy some downtime, some family time. We are, as I said, flying out Friday. We will catch up in West Lafayette on Saturday afternoon. See ya.